ever wondered what it's like to live in a bus for an entire year? I'm Devin, and so by that
and I'm Brianna.
And we've been living in this bus for the past 3 years.
But first things first, we're gonna show you around.
I think that makes sense.
Let's go. The reason we've been able to live in this space for so long is because we really tried to think of everything. One being our kitchen. I feel like we have everything we need in this kitchen, from our stove to oven, fridge, freezer, deep sink, and all the storage a girl could ask for. We even have a microwave. Another reason I personally think I can live in this space for a while is our bathroom. We have a composting toilet, tiled shower, skylight, bench, storage underneath. It's an amazing shower.
So my reasons are going to be a little bit different than hers. We just have everything we need, and obviously that's going to include a gaming PC. I mean, right? This is my gaming PC and editing workstation in a school bus, and I love that I have this because it's like a little piece of me, and obviously I can get some work done here as well. And the second thing that I'm really glad we have is our bunk beds. Now this was one of my design choices that I would not let go of. We ended up going with bunk beds, and we're both super glad that we did. In fact,
I'm very thankful for them is what I was going to say. My brother traveled with us for a full month, and he literally slept on each bunk bed and the bed up front. So yeah, there's choices for everyone.
Multiple bed options.
Hop on in.
Maybe you could be next to travel with us, who knows? We also have our queen size bed, as well as a washer and dryer. Now that you can see our bus, maybe you can understand a little bit better how, for us, I guess it's really pretty easy to stay in here for a year. And obviously we didn't build this bus so that we could just live in it. We built it in a bus specifically so that we could travel.
Remember, we've been living in it for 3 years, but this is the first year that we actually hit the road and are currently traveling. We really enjoyed exploring the Northeast. It was like truly kind of a dream come true in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
We didn't realize we wanted to explore there, but once we got out there, we fell in love, and we're super excited that we got to do that.
Yeah.
Now we're all the way out west in Arizona.
Just ping-ponged from one side of the U.S. to the other. So this past year of bus life, so we were in Virginia for 3 months, then we moved on to all of the Northeast pretty much.
Yeah, we just took 2 months and traveled, like place to place to place.
My two favorite spots that we went to, number one, New York City. Like, I had no desire to go to New York City before this trip. Hi, buddy. I had no desire to go to New York City, and it was amazing. Had a great time. The other one, I think, is the same as yours as well.
Maine.
Yeah, definitely Maine.
Maine is just like, it was ripped off the map. The way the landscape meets the ocean is just truly incredible. Acadia stole our hearts. Hiked Mount Katahdin. That was like such a challenge for me. I didn't think I was gonna make it to the top. I was just so proud of myself.
Yeah, traveling was an incredible part and has made the past year in bus life definitely worth it. But if we're being honest, like, that's just a really small part. I think Archie wants to go outside, so let's take him for a walk while we talk about the hardest parts of bus life.
So some of the challenges that we've experienced while living in our bus is places to park. I am a travel x-ray technologist, and what that means is I take 13-week contracts at different hospitals around the United States. So that allows us to be on the road from place to place in between contracts, but when I'm on contract, we have to find a long-term stay, which means I have to find a place to park our 39-foot rig for 13 weeks at a time. And that can be very difficult. But there are many apps and like resources that we've found very helpful.
Yeah, apps like iOverlander, Harvest Host, even Craigslist can be used to really help you find places. You can see behind me, we're actually staying at an RV park right now. So I want to get the idea out of there that like bus life and van life are just this constant adventure, and you're just always having the time of your life, because that's just not real. Some days it really sucks, it's really boring, and you're just staying at an RV park just like this, and the most exciting thing you'll do that day is taking your dog on a walk.
I will say I do feel like we're on vacation most of the time comparatively to like people who live in brick and mortar homes. But just think of those days that you're living in your house and you're not doing anything, but maybe sitting on your couch watching Netflix or just cooking a meal and taking care of your kids. Those are the kind of days that we also experience, like today.
So some more specific challenges that we had in this past year were, as soon as we left, within an hour and a half of our maiden voyage, we actually broke down. We overheated. It was pretty rough. Thankfully, we got it taken care of pretty easily. But that wasn't the last time that something like that happened. In fact, we broke down again on Blue Ridge Parkway.
And I'm like, hey, the muffler just fell off.
Expect challenges like that because that is gonna happen. That is, unfortunately, just a part of bus life.
It's like our vehicle is our home.
Right.
So it's what gets us to point A to point B, but it's also the structure that we live in. So if we're in the shop, that means our whole home is in the shop.
We're huge. We're 39 foot long.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of places that even like a van can fit just fine, like a normal parking lot.
It takes a lot of planning to
Yeah.
figure out what route we're gonna take and where we're gonna stay.
Yeah, even our height. We have to route it out. Like we can't go to any places that have bridges that are too low. There's definitely a lot more that we have to
literally
think
got
about.
pulled over one time because we were on a road
Oh, that's so
that
true.
was going to take off our roof if we went
Yeah.
any further. The cop escorted
job.
us a different direction. So it's just things like that that we
Wow.
find ourselves in sometimes.
Cactus.
I think the biggest challenge is that with living this nomadic lifestyle, whether it's a bus or a van, everything is constantly changing. You have to plan, you're constantly moving, you're going from place to place, finding places to park, spending money on gas and diesel. We made it back in. We are going to make some coffee.
We have talked about a lot of reasons on why you shouldn't do bus life, but there are a whole lot of reasons like why we choose to keep doing it. The number one reason why is the community that we found.
The community has just blown our minds.
Yeah.
Since we've been on the road, we've met so many great people.
When we set off, like our whole purpose was to travel, but then I feel like the more we went and the more we saw cool places, it was actually the people that stood out.
But really, like, traveling can be pretty lonely. And so when you're not able to
Great point.
live life on the road and experience places with people, it's just kind of like, oh, I got to experience it. It's the people that truly make whatever you're doing
Totally agree.
worth it.
The number one event of the year for us was Vansgiving. That was just mind-blowing, just how cool it could be to connect with that many people. We're only supposed to be there for like 4 to 5 days. We ended up staying for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we were just parked outside of Sedona in the middle of the desert. We spent Thanksgiving with a group and we all just like parked up in the desert together and just had a
Just hung
whole
out.
week of events. We did yoga together, we hiked together, we swapped stories around the campfire.
Helped people fix things that were broken,
Yeah.
helped install new things.
We are so blessed and thankful to be living this lifestyle, to be able to be a part of something like that. Besides community though, the other really cool thing about having a home on wheels is like your home gets to take you to the places that you don't normally get to see. You get to live in those places and experience
Yeah, they
new-
become your home.
And so it's like, oh, if I don't want to be in Arizona, okay, we just hit the road, we can hop over to the next state. The sky's the limit for us with our home on wheels. We can literally just drive off tomorrow and be in a new place and live in a new environment.
So 2021 in a bus really was a pretty incredible year for us.
Although it had some challenges, we are really looking forward to 2022.
It's gonna be a great year. Bye guys. Cheers.